Let's do this. Oh, they're playing. It is.
For Dodger baseball.
It is time. It is. They're going to play, I promise. Hey, everybody. Come on in. Pull up a chair, sit down, relax, and let's talk Dodgers. This is the first video podcast by fans, for fans of your Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm Randy Tibbins, and today is July 20th, 2015. Hey, Moon Day, the day we landed on the moon 45 years ago. Let's talk some Dodgers here. This is our only show of the week. I'll talk about that a little bit later, and I'll be back again on Monday next week. Okay, Dodgers took 2 out of 3 from the Nats over the weekend. I'll hear for that. And, boy, that wasn't easy either because there was some great pitching exhibitions going on from Mr. Kershaw and Mr. Greinke. But Friday night's game featured 3 game delays because of the light banks, and Nationals Park kept going out. That was crazy. They stopped and suspended the game after the 3rd delay, and they finished the game on Saturday with the Blue losing the game. But we got some home runs out of it. We're going to hear a little bit later. The club is in Atlanta now to play the first of 3 against the Braves. Final stop on the road trip is a 4-game series in New York beginning Thursday night. I'll be back next Monday to talk about the whole week. It's going to be crazy. Oh, it's also Crappy Mike Day today. Hello, Crappy Mike. How are you? Good. I'm Crappy Randy. You're Crappy Mike. Crappy John over there. No. All right. Anyway, injury report and some moves. And there were some big surprises over the weekend. First of all, a good surprise. Carl Crawford should be returning this week to the team. Well, wait a minute. I don't know if that's a do you care or a cheer out because, Ethier's been doing a pretty good job himself. But anyway, no word yet on who's going out of the 40-man roster when Crawford comes back. So we'll see how that goes. He should be with the team in Atlanta this week. Meanwhile, we learned just this afternoon, that A.J. Ellis is on the 15-day DL because he's hurt. He hurt himself yesterday when he came in for ailing Yasmani Grandal, who got hit in the chin with a foul ball. And by the way, the chin wasn't broken. He's going to be okay, but he's taking the day off. The Dodgers brought up Austin Barnes, and A.J. and the Dodgers are calling his injury inflammation. So he's on the 15-day deal. Austin Barnes is set on the roster now as the number 1 catcher, and Yasmani Grandal is the backup catcher because he can't play yet. He probably play tomorrow, maybe, I hope. All right, we got some congratulations in order. This is really surprising. This doesn't happen too often, so we're going to make a big deal out of it. Congrats go out today to Zach Greinke and Clayton Kershaw. They've been both named co-National League Players of the Week, and runner-up to that, Adrian Gonzalez came in 3rd. So the two pitchers, 2 aces, the 2 aces are the co-National League Players of the Week, and Adrian Gonzalez was the runner-up. That's pretty cool stuff, pretty remarkable. You don't see that too often happening to the Dodgers. We got a couple of home runs for you. As I said, Gonzo hit 1 in the suspended game before it was suspended on Friday night. And then he hit another one on Saturday when they came back to play. Let's hear those right now. Here's Gonzo in the first of the 2 home runs that he hit.
Well hit to right field. Adrian Gonzalez has hit it out. His 19th of the year, and the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead.
All right, then he hit another one out the next day, which was the second part of the game that we lost.
Into left field, heading on back is Clint Robinson, and it is gone, a home run. Adrian Gonzalez goes the other way. His second of the game, his 20th of the year, and the Dodgers have tied it at 3.
So he and Young Jock are now tied for home runs on the team with 20 apiece, looking really good. Let's do some fun stuff before we get out of here. We got some fun stuff. Shout-outs. I want to give another shout-out to this guy. I gave him one last week. I'm going to give him another one. Bobby K. Yeah, okay. All right, not so loud. He's not that cool. Yeah, he is. For catching the wave and putting in Time Warner Cable. He says he needed the new internet speed, but we know why he really got it. Dodgers are on Time Warner. Way to go, Bobby. Appreciate that you wrote and told us all that, because that's cool. Hey, now I'm going over to your house for the party, right? All right. Stats of the day, we got a bunch of them, a gang of them. First of all, Zach Greinke made history once again. He struck out 11 batters in 8 innings in the Dodgers' 5-0 victory at Washington yesterday. In doing so, he extended his scoreless streak to 43.2 games, 2 innings. I wish it were games. 43.2 innings, which is the longest for any major leaguer since Orel Hershiser's record of 59 consecutive scoreless shutout innings in 1988. The only pitchers with streaks of consecutive scoreless innings as long as Greinke's during the expansion era from 1961 on are Hershiser, Don Drysdale with his 58 2/3, which they now only call 58, which bothers me, in 1968. And Bob Gibson's 47 innings, also in 68. And don't forget, his friend Clayton Kershaw did one of 41 innings earlier this year, so I'm counting that one. I like it. All right, another one. Speaking of Mr. Kershaw, gave up just 3 hits on Saturday, all singles in his masterful performance. Did not issue a single walk. That's unbelievable. That marked the second time in the last 2 years that the Dodger lefty struck out at least 14 batters in a game without surrendering an extra base hit or base on balls. Kershaw recorded 15 strikeouts without walking a batter in his no-hitter on June 18th last year versus the Rocks. Since the team relocated to the West Coast in 1958, the only other Dodger pitcher to strike out 14 or more batters in a game without giving up any extra base hits or walks was Sandy Koufax. Thank you. Who rang up 14 Ks in his perfect game September 9th, 1965 versus the Cubs. You all know that one. All right, this is a great date in history, period. July 20th, 1969, we came in peace for all mankind when Neil Armstrong stepped foot on the moon for the first time. Well, we got something else that happened in Dodger history. July 20th, the very next year, 1970, less than a month after spending 3 weeks in the hospital for hepatitis, ouch, Dodger right-hander Bill Singer pitched his best game of his career, pitched a no-hitter in 5-0 victory over Philadelphia Phillies at Dodger Stadium. And the kicker of that game, well, first of all, Singer's no-hitter was the 5th in Los Angeles Dodger history, first by a pitcher other than Sandy Koufax, who threw 4, including only the perfect game in franchise history. But Singer struck out 10 and managed to overcome 2 errors, both committed by him, which was kind of odd. And he played for the Dodgers from 64 to 72. He won 20 games in 69 and 20 games in 73 while with the Angels. Terrible thing about it for me was the day before he did this, on July 20th, 1970, July 19th, 1970, the Phillies were still there. They had a doubleheader that day. It was a Sunday afternoon that I went to see, and I was there. And the terrible thing about it is they dropped both ends of a doubleheader to Philly, and the next day he pitches no-hitter? Come on, Bill. Anyway, I could have missed it by 1 day. Anyway, I'll never forget, it was like 110 degrees out for that doubleheader. It was crazy on Sunday. Then Monday afternoon's game was a 5-o'clocker, so you had the shadows working. Bill Singer hit the no-no. All right, let's get you out of the ballpark for at least the first 3 days this week anyway. I'll be gone the rest of the week, but I'll be back Monday. Today, July 20th at 4:10, that's in about 10 minutes from now. They're in Atlanta, remember. Right-hander Brandon Beachy making his second start for the Blue. He's 0-1 with a 6.75 ERA. He's going up against their right-hander in Atlanta, Matt Wisler, or Whistler. He's 3-1 with a 3. He's 3-1 with a 3.10 ERA. Tuesday, July 21st, 4:10 game, also our time. Left-hander Brett Anderson. He's 5-5 with a 3.17 ERA. Poor Brett doesn't get enough love. I know he's 5-5, but with a 3.17 ERA, remember he was going to be like a 4th or 5th starter. He's our number 3 guy now, with everybody else out. Left-hander Alex Wood is going for the Atlanta Braves. He's 6-6 with a 3.76 ERA. That's Tuesday's game. Wednesday's game, you got to get up pretty early. We'll be up early working anyway. Wednesday's game, 9 o'clock in the morning. Too tired to be up at that time watching a baseball game, but it's noon in Atlanta. And it's going to be right-hander Mike Bolsinger, 4-3 with a 3.04 ERA, going up against right-hander Julio Teheran. He's 6-4 with a 4.53 ERA. We're going to be able to tee off on that guy. Remember, the Braves, they're fighting, they're scrapping. They're not terrible, they're not great. They're somewhere in the middle there. I think they might. A lot of people think they still have a shot. You never know. They're in a tough division. What can you say? Don't forget to check out the best photographer in the business, John Sue's outstanding photography, at dodgersphotog.mlblogs.com. Scott Van Slyke is going to be signing them up July 31st at 11 a.m. at the Food for Less on North Lake Avenue in Pasadena. Tommy Davis, I love Tommy Davis. How can you not cheer for Tommy Davis? He's going to be signing Saturday, August 1st at 10 a.m. at the Westin Hotel in LAX Airport, 5400 West Century Boulevard in LA. And we got more signings to go in August. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Dodgers. Tell all your friends to watch us, Let's Talk Dodgers, in Facebook. And if they want to check us out directly on YouTube, it's Let's Talk Dodgers 13. That's where you'll find our page. Put them all in order. Find the latest one on top, hopefully. And you can write to us at either of those two places. And you can write to the regular email address, which is letstalkdodgers@gmail.com. And you can even hit me up on Twitter, @RandyTrumpet, or @Let's Talk Dodgers. Either one works. I'll I'll get it or I'll hear about it. And that's all we have. I'm going to be gone for a couple of days. I'll be back on Monday. So I just want everybody to know to come on back, pull up a chair, sit down, relax, and let's talk Dodgers next Monday. Meanwhile, let's beat Atlanta. Let's beat those Mets. We got to beat all the Mets.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Don't forget,
The greatest baseball organization on this earth is the Dodgers. Don't you ever forget it.
everybody, have a good week.